Welcome to GeekWire from GeekWire.com in Seattle. I'm Todd Bishop.
And I'm John Cook.
We are live on location today at Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center in Seattle. This institution is home to some of the most innovative and inspiring scientists, doctors, and researchers leading and winning the fight against cancer. Thanks to Fred Hutch for hosting this event and for sponsoring this show. We're also streaming live on Facebook right now, so welcome to everybody who's joining us there, and a big shout out to Facebook for its special role in our nation's electoral Armageddon this week. Too soon? Too soon? Yeah, I guess so. Later on, we will be speaking with Dr. Jim Olson, a brain cancer researcher and startup founder who leads teams developing breakthroughs in the fight against cancer using molecules from nature. We'll also be joined by one of our favorite recurring guests, Andru Edwards, the editor of Gear Live, with a sneak peek at some of the gadgets that will be on top of his list this holiday season, plus the return of our GeekWire Trivia Challenge with a chance to win a great prize both here in the audience at Fred Hutch and the audience listening on the radio show and podcast. So let's get started with our weekly news roundup, The Week in Geek. And this is where typically the audio plays, but I'm going to play it safe, and we'll insert that later. So that's what we're doing. All right, so let's jump into it. All right, John, well, we cannot avoid talking about it this week. There was that guy who came out of nowhere from the right side of the field. He blew by everybody, and he knocked over his unsuspecting opponent, and he caused a huge uproar and a controversy across the country. So I have to start by asking you, do you think Richard Sherman should have been thrown out for that cheap shot against the Bills on Monday Night Football?
Yes.
All right, seriously, let's talk about President Trump. What does he mean?
President-elect.
Yeah. President-elect Trump. I'm already there. I'm just going to embrace it. Going to embrace it.
Yeah.
What do you think he means for the world of tech? What will his administration
It's interesting because we've been tracking this election obviously closely, as everybody has across the country, and the tech industry came out pretty strongly against him. I've never seen, in covering the tech industry for 15 plus years, the momentum behind or rallying against one potential candidate. And so I think he's really viewed in places like Seattle and Silicon Valley as almost anti-tech and anti-innovation to some degree, and so that's obviously creates all sorts of issues and problems for the tech community.
It's interesting because typically with the Republican administration, you would look and say, okay, this is somebody who's going to relax regulations, taxes are going to go down, and so the business world would be welcoming him. I think Donald Trump is such a wild card at this point. You don't know exactly what he's going to be doing, which of his election promises he's going to be living up to.
And in the public markets, although you saw the dramatic decline in the stock market originally, it kind of popped back up, and there were pockets of the economy that were doing well. In fact, one was biotechnology and health, because of the potential that they weren't going to regulate drug prices as much. So there were certain elements of the economy that could do better. It's really interesting to look at, these Twitter wars that Trump has gotten into with people like Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon. And I look at all the great entrepreneurial talent, all the great business leaders that we have in this country that have really created companies from nothing to something and have employed really millions of people. And I just look at it and I'm like, gosh, is the best we can do for a business leader taking office Trump? I mean, that's the best we can do?
Well, the fact that he won Twitter is remarkable, I think. And there have been commentators who pointed out, you had previous presidents who won, they commanded the mediums of the day, the media of the day.
So JFK with television, Obama with the internet. Yeah. Even FDR back with the radio. Yeah.
And so Twitter obviously had a huge impact here, but I also think that Facebook, and I was joking about the Armageddon caused by Facebook, but I think it's causing a lot of people, including me, to look at the communities that we're involved in online, and I think everybody needs to ask themselves, are we actually getting a representative sample or a representative group among our, quote, friends online, or are we just seeing what other people are saying that we agree with. And Facebook's algorithm is tuned that way, so it makes it very difficult.
Yeah, and you certainly see that in bubbles like Seattle, where I think there was this idea like there's no way that Trump could get elected. But where I'm from originally, in the Rust Belt of Central Ohio, this is a real thing, and there's real pain there that Trump tapped into.
Yeah. So what do you think about the polls? Because that is one major issue. There were obviously some very off-base polls that went into this that led people to believe that perhaps this was not going to be the outcome.
Yeah,
but definitely this was not going to be the outcome.
Yeah, two thoughts there. I think the polling was certainly was off, and there are certainly problems with polling. But the thing that bothers me, and it ties into technology, is the idea that there's all this data analytics around the polls. So you had kind of a flawed thing that the mathematicians were looking at, and we put so much faith into these data scientists and mathematicians, but their original source of data that they're basing this on was what was flawed. And so I think obviously a lot of people are looking in the mirror and trying to figure out what went wrong there.
The other big wild card here is the impact on Amazon. As you alluded to earlier, Donald Trump has been feuding with Jeff Bezos. Mostly Donald Trump's been the one doing the feuding. Bezos has been definitely...
Bezos said he wanted to send him on one of his rockets to
space.
So,
yeah. Well, apparently... there's a great planet that we think you could actually rule. It's called Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but do you think there are actual implications, problems for Amazon imminent with the Trump administration?
Well, you did see Bezos come out today and congratulate Trump, and I think maybe trying to put an olive branch out there. But yeah, you look at a component of Amazon Web Services, which is a very, very large component of the company, and they have federal contracts, including contracts with the CIA. And if there is a feud between two business leaders, who knows how that's going to play out. So yeah, I think that is something to watch.
Yeah, so bottom line here in the final minute in the news segment, what's your big takeaway? Because, John, your family is politically active. Your dad's a big Trump supporter. Your mom's a big, she actually campaigned for Hillary.
Yeah.
So
why'd you have to go here, Todd, with 1 minute left? You're like excising
too personal?
some demons here, yeah. It's going to be a tough road ahead, but I think we're all walking forward as a country, and I think that's all we can do.
I think, to me, one of the healthiest things that we've seen over the past few days is just the pragmatism from many of the tech leaders, actually. Not only Jeff Bezos, but Brad Smith, the president of Microsoft, and also Howard Schultz of Starbucks, and many others who are just saying, okay, this is the reality that we're living in, and let's figure out how to make it work. And so that will be something that's a little bit interesting. So as we've been saying, we are here live at the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center. We've got a big show coming up. Later on, we'll have a chance to win a pair of tickets to the upcoming GeekWire Gala. And also coming up next, we will have Andru Edwards of Gear Live talking to us about some of his favorite gadgets, including the upcoming Nintendo Classic Mini Console that's going to be coming out this week. So with that, With that, we'll be right back on GeekWire on Cairo Radio, 97.3 FM.
I know.
Right. So the gist there was I was trying to get John to stretch out a little bit longer.
I didn't want to dive into the whole political debate in my family, and with 30 seconds left,
That was great.
Yeah, it's a little tough to take on. But that is one of the things that you'll notice in the show. It becomes a little bit challenging because we're trying to hit certain time marks and get it into a certain time frame. When we get later in the show, you'll see it becomes more freewheeling.
And so that is a good point. We're going to keep Dr. Olson around for an extended podcast version, so we'll have a much more free-flowing conversation, unconstrained by the radio time limits. Hey, do you mind flipping around to there you go, so I can see you, Andrew? Oh, okay. Well,
yes.
Do it diagonal. Do diagonal.
Diagonal's fine.
Will you guys do me a favor and cheer louder for me when he introduces me in the intro?
This is Andru Edwards, by the way, probably I think our longest-standing guest on the GeekWire show.
Oh wait, we're not recording yet.
Not yet.
We're not recording yet.
Not yet. We're gonna be louder than that. All right. He runs a tech site called Gear Live and does a lot of great commentary of some of the gadgets that we all play with. So.
And Andrew has been on the show more than any other person, and I think you're getting to the point where it's more than twice as much as
I think this is number 10.
Number 10?
10.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Let's make it fun.
Let's go. Welcome back. We are on location this week at Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center. From GeekWire.com in Seattle, I'm Todd Bishop.
And I'm John Cook.
We are joined in the auditorium this week by Andru Edwards, the editor-in-chief of Gear Live and the most frequent guest ever on the GeekWire podcast and radio show. It's great to have you here, Andru.
Thank you. This place is amazing. I love these people.
This is great. So, Andru, we typically have you in for a holiday gift guide of sorts, and I still want to do that in full form, maybe for an entire show coming up later on. But with Thanksgiving coming up right around the corner, we wanted to have you in. I have to tell you, though, before we jump into your picks, I want to talk about one of my picks, and that is the NES Classic Edition. This is a new $60 mini game console that Nintendo is coming out with on Friday of this week.
Tomorrow, actually.
Yeah,
tomorrow Friday?
Tomorrow.
All right, Friday.
Tomorrow's So let's make sure your mic's turned up here, Andru. Can everybody hear Andru?
Hello.
Okay, yeah. Just
You got a big booming voice.
Yeah, just talk right into it. Okay.
Curious.
So, and by the way, that'll be edited out. So you've been testing this new Nintendo Classic Edition. This is a cute little thing.
Right. It fits into the palm of your hand. Just plugs right into your TV, and it ships. So it's a standalone console, and it ships with 30 games on it. So, and you can't add any new games to it. It doesn't download, connect to the internet. But you just buy this thing that has 30 games, 30 games from the original Nintendo Entertainment System, which came out in 1985. So from back in the day, if you're a gamer, you've got 30 classic games to take you on a trip to nostalgia. What I did find, though, is my 12-year-old son was only entertained by it for about 15 minutes, and then very quickly wanted to go back to the Xbox.
What does that say about the progression of video games? Because I'll tell you, I know Excite Bike is on there, if I'm not mistaken. I probably played Excite Bike for 5 or 6 years of my youth. I mean, seriously, that game, I love.
That's why you're
that
stuck
game.
in this career.
There you go.
So, but what does that say that it is not enough to keep your son engaged?
Well, I think at the end of the day, it's not the audio-visual overload experience that games today are. It's not high definition 4K with surround sound. It really is very simple. It's 2 buttons and a D-pad, whereas nowadays the Xbox and PlayStation have, I think, 8 to 12 buttons on each controller.
And then if you get the Elite controller, it's over the top.
So it's just not as, for lack of a better term, it's not as cool.
So what's the point of it? Is it just a novelty?
There's the novelty. Yeah. So if you were gaming in 1985, right, then you are now middle-aged, more than likely. But the thing is
unless there are some amazing treatments that we're going to hear about at the Fred Hutch.
But so the thing is a lot of people today, gaming is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and a large portion of those people, it's not just kids anymore. And a lot of people love nostalgia. That's why they always do remakes of movies, Ghostbusters, etc. And so this is a way to allow you to pay just $60 and get 30 classic games to play.
So someone in his mid-40s, such as myself, should I buy this? $60? Is it worth the investment?
Did you like games back in the day?
I was an Atari person.
Oh, well, this is better than Atari. Oh. This is better than Atari, definitely.
I'm sensing
8-bit. Okay. This is 8-bit.
All right, I'm going to move on before we get into a classic console smackdown. So what else is on your list? What would you pick?
Well, since we're at the time frame right now, it's really about Black Friday. And the number one thing that people have been asking me is are TVs a good deal for Black Friday? And more often than not, the answer is actually no. The answer is actually, the reason no is because they'll bump the price up a month or so leading into Black Friday and then bring it back down, putting it on sale, but it's really just selling for what it used to sell for. But this year, TV manufacturers are desperate to get rid of 1080p and move into the 4K HDR, and this is a lot of acronyms. But basically, this is similar to the jump from non-high def to high def that happened about 8 years ago or so. So it's going to be similar to that same jump in visual impressiveness.
The move from 1080p to 4K.
1080p to 4K and HDR. So if you're buying a TV this Black Friday, there will be a lot of good deals at Best Buy, Walmart's, etc. But if you buy one, make sure if you're buying a 4K TV, it says HDR on it. If it doesn't say that, your TV may be obsolete very quickly.
Run.
But if it does say that, you can be confident in buying that, and it'll last you for quite a while.
Good.
So
good.
that's first of all.
Okay.
TVs.
What else?
Speaking of video games, Nintendo for the first time ever is selling the new Nintendo 3DS for $99, so under $100, Black Friday only. And this is going to be in like Amazon, again, Target. So this is a gift for adults and kids. But this is typically a console that's around $150, so it's never sold for $99 right off the bat. So Black Friday, if you want to get your own game on as an adult, or if you're doing shopping for kids, it's the place to be.
Is there still a market for those devices in the world of smartphones?
I think so, because in the world of smartphones, you get most people don't want to pay; they want free, or they want to pay 99 cents. And when they see like $3.99, oh my God, what is this?
Yeah.
This better be the best game I've ever played. Yet on a Nintendo 3DS, they'll pay $40 for the latest Mario game. So the quality of the titles is much higher than it would be on a smartphone. That said, if you're just a casual gamer, you don't care. You'll just download Candy Crush and enjoy that for a few months.
Okay, good. So let's have one more. What if you could pick one more item on your list?
One more.
What would it be?
One more. All right. This will be a hybrid pick since we're in a health-related thing right now. Fitbits and Apple Watches, both of which do a good job at monitoring your general health, will both be on like super sale on leading into Black Friday. Fitbit especially because they've been seeing their sales fall due to the rise of the Apple Watch. They are going to be very aggressively pricing the Fitbits, and then Apple. The trick with them is they now allow other sellers to discount their products, which they didn't do before. So if you go to the Apple store, everything's going to be full price. But if you go to Target, again, Best Buy, Walmart, you'll find the Apple Watch either at a deep discount, or it'll sell for the same price, but they'll give you like a $100 gift card or something like that with your purchase. So
Good
there
stuff.
you go.
All right, that's awesome. That's just a mere teaser for what we'll get
yes.
for your full holiday gift guide on a future version of the show.
That's
Hey,
right.
we're going to do a trivia challenge right now. Let's stick around and see if you can
okay.
see if you can get this. All
I
right,
never
so
get them.
This is for the audience at home. We're going to also challenge at the end the audience here at the Fred Hutch with the same challenge. And so let's give it, John. You helped out on this trivia challenge, so let's do this one. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, we should say what's up for grabs, right?
That's right. Go ahead.
So we've got 2 great tickets for our GeekWire Gala coming up December 7th. This is a big geeky holiday party hosted at the Museum of History and Industry. About 1,000 people attend. It's quite fun. And do you want to hit them with the question?
You can check it out at geekwire.com/gala, Gala.
Yep.
Yes, so the question is, we are here at Fred Hutch. Fred Hutch has spun off more than 20 companies over the years, biotech companies. We're going to be speaking with one of the people behind at least 2 of those companies later on. One of the most prominent Fred Hutch spinoffs is called Juno Therapeutics. But did you know that Juno Therapeutics was not originally called Juno? It had another name. So our question for you this week is, what was the original name of Juno Therapeutics? If you're listening on the radio show or podcast, send your answer to contest@geekwire.com. That's contest@geekwire.com. Once again, we're looking for the original name of Juno Therapeutics, and here's a hint.
Everybody knows this.
If we said it on the air, we'd be fined by the FCC. Oh yeah, good hint.
Wow.
All right, so once again, send your answer to contest@geekwire.com. All right, we will be right back. By the way, thank you, Andrew, for being on.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Always.
Yes. That is Andru Edwards of Gear Live. You can check out his work at gearlive.com, also youtube.com/gearlive for all
Yes.
his latest videos. And we will be right back with Dr. Jim Olson. We are live on location at Fred Hutch this week. You're listening to GeekWire on Cairo Radio 97.3 FM.
We didn't get to talk about the upgrade of
Oh, right. Time flies.
Yeah. Maybe just for the Facebook Live.
Yeah, just taking a little break. It seems like, 3 years in a row, I visit GeekWire Radio, and the new iPhone has just come out. And he refuses with all his might to upgrade his software. Saying
I'm a late
that
adopter.
He's a late adopter, and he always says that when he does so, his phone breaks. I'm like, it's not going to break, just do it. And the last 2 years, it's gone fine.
This
and then
year-
today I walked in and you were like, my phone broke.
I said you screwed up my phone for the weekend.
He
when you got me
blames
an upgrade. Yeah. Thanks,
happened?
Andrew.
What happened?
What happened? The battery, I later learned, the prongs in the battery case were bent in such a
Okay.
way, so I'd take it into the shop and they had to reconfigure that.
AKA that has nothing to do with the software
Right.
upgrade. That's a bad
That's good. So,
Good.
Thank you, Andrew.
thanks, Andrew.